Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Man Bites Film. This week, like every week, we review two great films that are streaming on any of the streaming networks, like Amazon, Hulu, Netflix, and of course, Shudder. So this week, we're going to be concentrating on two films that are on Netflix. First one, and this is just my personal obsession with Stanley Kubrick, of course. So I got to review anything that he puts on that goes on Netflix. So, first one that I want to go straight into is Full Metal Jacket. This is one of his masterpieces. If you could even say that any of his films are not masterpieces, they are phenomenal films, every single one of them. And there's a wonderful thing that George Miller said in one of his interviews and all that stuff. He loves Stanley Kubrick because every single frame that he does it's like a personal photo just for you. And every single one of his frames are embedded in your skull. There's scenes in every single one of his films that just stick with you. Every single one of them stick the landing and they get embedded in your head. One of my personal favorite films is A Clockwork Orange. So I love Stanley Kubrick. You see his shirt on me all the time. I mean, come on. That tells you all. It's one of my favorite films of all time. So I personally love Stanley Kubrick. And this week I want to do basically a tribute to him, I guess you could say. So Full Metal Jacket is streaming on Netflix. This is a 1987 film starring Matthew Modine, Vincent D'Onofrio, I can't pronounce his name, sorry, and Adam Baldwin. This is a story of these soldiers that are going to boot camp for getting ready for Vietnam. And half of the film takes place in the boot camp, which is phenomenal scenes. Oh my god, phenomenal scenes. Some of those things that you see in there are so real. It feels like such raw footage, and it's basically the bashing and bringing down. You are literally dropped to the lowest of the low in humanity. That way they could build you up as an animal, not as a man, as a human. So you're completely devoid of any humanity that's remaining. And this film captures that so well by capturing the characters. Alright, last week I did a lot of character analysis and all that stuff. This film, and any film by Stanley Kubrick, is a character analysis. This film in particular actually goes into these people that are trying to go to war. And they're being trained to be animals and kill with no regard whatsoever for human life. To go against human nature to stop and care for another individual. So I think that is super fascinating, and it does an amazing job, especially with the scene in the middle. That scene sticks with me every time. I remember that scene. Every time I think of Full Metal Jacket, I have like a boom, 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 boom picture frame of all my favorite shots, because it's so beautifully done. Every scene of it is ideal. Every shot is so perfectly calculated. Every moment in the film is perfectly calculated. And if you love war films, or if you love character films, this is a film you must watch. It follows them once they get into Vietnam, and it follows the characters build even further into their psychosis and everything. And that ending scene of Full Metal Jacket is awe-inspiring. They are literally humming the tune of Mickey Mouse Club while walking in a backdrop that's completely bombarded in this paradise that is Vietnam. It is beautiful, okay? Such a beautiful film. So the next one that I want to go into is S is for Stanley. It is a 2015 documentary bio-drama that follows Emilio D'Alessandro, that was Stanley Kubrick's personal driver. And it follows his story of how he basically becomes Stanley Kubrick's best friend second-hand man. He is the go-to for Stanley Kubrick, and he sees Kubrick delve into his complete and utter madness that this man was. I mean, this man literally loses it every time he does a film. His films take years and years of analysis, of study. He goes so deep into the subjects that he buys a whole library full of books every time he goes to do a film, because he wants to be 100% accurate, 100% real. He wants to capture every aspect of it, but make it entertaining. And even though Stanley Kubrick's films are not perfect, they're not stuck to the books that they are being interpreted from, they don't stick to that at all. He uses a story, captures a story, and makes it into this grandiose cinematic masterpieces, like 2001, like A Clockwork Orange, like Full Metal Jacket, like The Shining, like Eyes Wide Shut, Lolita. Oh my God, every single one of his films are books, but all he captures is a story. And then he takes that story and perfects it, makes it even better. And I love Stanley Kubrick because he's an eccentric director. This man does everything to capture the mood, capture the moment, capture the exact thing that he was looking for when he first envisioned the film. And I respect that so much. Not only as a person that he does that, but as a filmmaker, the fact that he sticks to his guns, he sticks to what he knows, and he makes things beautiful. He makes these masterpieces, these landmarks in cinematic history. So if you have never seen any of Stanley Kubrick's films that I just listed, please watch his catalog. Full Metal Jacket, The Shining are both on Netflix. Gotta watch that. A Clockwork Orange is a beautiful film. 2001, it's a slow pace, but oh my God, it's amazing. Alright, so please check out these two films. First one, Full Metal Jacket. Second one is S is for Stanley, documentary about Stanley Kubrick's Driver. Such a good story. I give Full Metal Jacket a 9.5 out of 10. S is for Stanley, a 6 out of 10. I enjoyed the story, not the actual documentary itself. So, like always, we review two great films every single week for you on any of the streaming networks that I personally enjoy. And on top of that, we're going to be at Spooky Empire this year. So if you are in the Orlando, Central Florida area, please come and see us. We're going to be doing raffles, giveaways, sweepstakes, and awesome fun trivia games throughout the convention. This is the last week of October in the Orlando Convention Center. Again, Spooky Empire. Please check it out. We'll have the link below to the website so you can purchase your tickets, and also a few other links below that you can check out with all our other information. So please like, subscribe, and check us out on Facebook. Like us on Facebook. And we'll see you guys at Spooky Empire.